Well, hello. I do hope that you can actually see me. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it is absolutely, really as dark as anything out there. And so I hope you can see me in this gathering gloom. Of course, Gigi has to jump. Well, I've not got an awful lot to say to you. If you're wondering what I'm wearing, it was from the Crochet Closet. It was a book. I don't often wear it because I don't like the sleeves. I will make it again, but I won't do these silly sleeves next time. They're just a bit stupid. Like the pattern stitch. Like the way it fits everywhere else, but these silly sleeves really are stupid. Anyway, hello to Gigi. Hello, Gigi. Well, today I was going to think about, telling you who I actually watch on YouTube. But seeing as my list is that long, I'm going to settle for just a few. I finished Abby's cardigan. That's my great niece. Finished her cardigan. Well, I say finished. I can't get to the buttons yet, but it's finished apart from, I don't know if you can see or not, with the lights in the wrong place. If I shine it at me, it's going to be wrong, isn't it? If I shine it behind me, you're going to get a funny light. So maybe I hope I'm not dazzling anybody now. How about that? That's Abby's cardigan anyway. Hope you can see it. As for my new, that's still not right, is it? Because you're not going to see what I've got on me. Oh, I do hope I'm not dazzling you. I can't help this. This is really not right, is it? Maybe if I move the camera around a bit, maybe that's better. When I look back at this, it's probably going to be totally wrong. But there's not a whole lot I can do at the minute because my lights are all in the wrong place for, for this camera. Oh well. Anyway, my attempt to use my new crochet hook came to a halt because I was crocheting away and I kept thinking, this is so tight. This isn't right. Don't ask me why. There was like 3 different sayings for the crochet hook, like, how you have M's and J's and whatever. And then there was your size, and then the American size, and then there was the English size. So I'm on the totally wrong hook. So it all had to come back again, and I started again now. So this time it is looking flatter. Can you see it? Oh, I hope you can see, because it's rather dark, isn't it? Hopefully you'll see more of it. I was trying to explain this. Oh, and I've lost my little hook thing. It shows you where I start the row. I'll have to put one back in. I was trying to explain, not very well, when I was blocking out the circular, that when you're crocheting something in a circle, if it's not looking flat, then you need to either go on a bigger hook or put extra chain here and there. If it just tells you to do, say, 2 chain in between all these and yours is curling up like that, then put 3 chain in between to make it lie flat. You need to really check every row, because once it starts going into a bowl shape, you're in trouble really. It's no good carrying on because it's just not going to flatten. You can flatten it out a wee bit. Now this one is looking remarkably flat, but this is that Annie's crochet pattern, which I can show you the front of it, but I can't show you the pattern obviously because it was a paid for pattern. And I hope you can see it because my printer is running out of ink, so everything's very pale. It's called the Harbour Light Circle Jacket, and that's the one. Although there are free patterns if you look around, I think I told you, on Drops Garn Studio, if you can't afford to buy, to pay for a pattern, because they're about $6, I think, or $6.99, something like that, for a pattern. So they're not cheap patterns. But I particularly wanted this one because it did look as though it laid flat. I'll let you know. Watch this space. As you know, keep reading. I'm not very prepared, am I, today? I'm using the ice yarns. It does change from browns to blacks. I hope you can see it because I'm not sure what you can actually see. The reason for me doing a video today, apart from I was going to tell you just a few of the people that I do watch, because I'm always grateful when people tell me people that I don't see. Because for some reason, you don't notice people and they're really good video people, but they just don't come on your radar and you miss them altogether, don't you? Anyway, today, do you know, prepared I am not. That's my list for telling you a few people. I am prepared in the fact that I've got my coffee, and I am prepared in the fact I've got my Turkish Delight. Very naughty because I'm diabetic and I shouldn't be having it. But there's nobody in the house, and so I'm going to have it. Right, these are some very, very old vintage patterns that I got from eBay. They arrived this morning. I've ordered some more, but they haven't come. I mean, he was selling them for 49p. Well, that was the starting bid. Some of them I had to pay £1 for. Ooh. But anyway, I loved that one. If you can see it, it's done in different colours, so it's a great way of using up my stash. I think it's done in 3 or 4 colours. Yeah, 4 colours it's done in. I know it looks old-fashioned because it's an old-fashioned looking thing, but if that was redone and stuck on another photograph, you'd think it was a modern pattern. That one is just hats. It says double knit or chunky, but the double knit you do it double, so it's really chunky. So that's just hats. They're knitted. Those are knitted. Those are crochet. There's really only 3 designs that just shown in 2 different colours. This one I absolutely love it. It's a tunic. Oh, you can see it. I don't want to pull them too. Am I pulling them too far forward? Let me know. That was the hat pattern anyway. This one is a tunic done in fine yarn. Well, I say fine, it's like fingering to the American. And I just love that tunic for myself. I absolutely adore it. I think it's so sweet. That will definitely be in my wardrobe soon. This one, the colours put me off a little bit, but this again is done in fine, like fingering. But I mean, I wouldn't have to do it in stripes. I could do it all in one colour. Or I could do it in stripes that were more subtle, more together, I don't think that blue and that green, well, to me they don't go together, but other people may like them. Who am I to judge? This one I'm sort of a little bit disappointed with it when it arrived. But it's a nice together pattern. What I call together, I mean it's not holy. And it fastens at the waist with one of those, those fasteners that Sue and I were talking about the other week when she said she'd managed to get hold of them. They're a bit difficult to get hold of, actually. They're not really frog fastenings. I don't know what they're called, but they're just a fastening. Anyway, that's a long waistcoat. This one, you could tell how old it is because there was the fashion when everybody wore a wig. I have one. Still got one somewhere. And of course Paris has got quite a few. She hasn't made an appearance recently, has she? But she's still there. She's still around. It's Paris. I just haven't made many small things. She's only about a size 10, 12. UK size 10, 12. Probably about your 6, 8, something like that. So she's a skinny mini. That, I don't know whether you can see or not the pattern, but I love it. It's got panels down of lace. I do hope you can see it. I have a habit of doing that and then the light's behind it and everything goes dark. So I do hope you can see them. And then the last but not least is this one, which is done in Monaco. Was a chunky, but it was a fine chunky. It was one of those in between weights, really, just a bit thicker than Arrow. And it seems to be done in like there's a name for this stitch, isn't there, where you go into it, then you do a chain, go into it, a chain, and then on the way back you go into the chain. Makes it very sort of stretchy and meshy. and yet it doesn't look, you know, whatever. The nearest thing I can say is one of the ladies that I watch is doing a lovely square blanket thing design. You know how the people are making these little squares sort of out of sock yarn, and they're starting at one corner and going outwards. Well, this lady's designed a crochet one. Let me think, she's on this side of the page, I think. Lorraine Pugh. She comes from Cyprus and I watch her a lot. She's designed this, it's called a Crochet square, and it really is nice. You should have a look at the way, if you like doing squares or you want to use up your oddments. She's been using some, oh gosh, what is it? Oh, you'll have to go and watch her video if you want to know. But it's shaded yarn that goes from one shade to another, and she's been using 3 shades to make a blanket, and it really does look nice. Well, as I haven't got much else to tell you, I'm not going to write the names down. You'll have to listen, and if you don't get it, you'll have to ask me again. I'm going to read just a few out. I'm not going to read the whole list out because I'll be just like reciting. I'll do maybe 10 today. Well, they're not in any particular order. The fact I'm reading these 10 out first doesn't mean that they're the 10 most popular ones for me. They're just the way that they come. I went into my YouTube list and it's just the way that they were written on my list. Right, there's Sean. Sean from Sean's Crafty Corner. Her name is Sian''S, Sean's Crafty Corner. She makes hats, or she makes lovely amigurumis and little toys and things like that. She does an awful lot of crochet, mostly. Although I think she is actually trying to start doing some knitting socks. Then I've got, I watch Katie from Inside Number 23. Katie is really a knitter. She's a beautiful knitter. Knits lovely fine things. And she's a sewer. At the moment she's in Orlando at Disneyland, so I've been watching her Vlogtober because she's been doing a vlog a day for October. And I find it very interesting because it's all, you know, the Harry Potter world and things like that she's been doing. Then the next one is Emily. It's Potter, I think she's called Emily or Emma. Maybe Emma. Potter and Bloom. It's Potter and that funny little, and you know, not A-N-D, the little symbol for hand. Potter and Bloom. She crochets and she's venturing into knitting as well. And she was the one who, I can't find it now. It was on here a minute ago. Oh yeah. She's the one who I got the, you know, the link for this crochet necklace that I got from Lana Boo. Yeah. The next one is Crochet Cakes, and that's she's called Clarissa Beth, I think, and she lives in Puerto Rico. So you know, we're getting people from all over the world here, don't we? I watch her. And of course there's Cedie Aki, which is Cedie Aqui, and that's Rosita from the Philippines. She makes some beautiful amigurumis, and she does everything. She can't read a pattern. She makes bags, she makes everything, she does all sorts of things. I should say that Crochet Cakes, she does crochet and she does knit as well. She's knitting socks at the moment. Everybody's got on this knitting socks kick, haven't they? Then I've got Lisa's Pine Notes, of course. Lisa does tutorials. She was the one I first found for doing the virus show. Because I know there's many people who've done tutorials on it. But I found hers particularly easy to follow, and I followed her chart. At the moment she's doing the virus shawl, and she's doing it into like a circular type waistcoat. She's doing a tutorial on that at the moment. But she's made some beautiful ponchos and things like that. Then we've got Kelly, who's I'm yarn inspired. It's IMYARN and then inspired. Kelly does, mostly she's on socks at the moment, but she does crochet an awful lot as well. Then there's Karen Hales. I think she's Kazalistic. I think you spell it with a K, K-A-Z-Z-A-L-I-S-T-I-C. But I found her on YouTube with Karen Hales. That's Karen spelled with a K. She does a lot of shawls and things, but she also does a lot of things for woolly hugs. She sends off hats, and she does a lot of premature baby outfits, and you know, for the little baby angels that are, you know, unfortunately not born alive. She does a lot of things for them as well. Then I've got Shirley, Jones Blues and Jam. At the moment Shirley is knitting, and I think she's trying to knit, is it, or does she knit and crochet? I'm not sure which way she does it. But at the moment she's doing up a van. She wants to be able to, you know, travel around. She's recently widowed and it's a bit of a lost end, you know, it was rather sudden. And she's doing up this van so she can go touring in the US. So that's what she's doing at the moment. Then I've just started watching Yarn Hoarder. She seems to be a sock knitter. But what fascinated me about that was this great big wall of yarn behind her. And I'm thinking, I want that kind of wall, you know, I want that shelving. I want to put my yarn on that kind of shelving. Then of course we've got Amy. Amy's Woolly World of Creations. Amy's branching out into shawls, and I think she's actually making socks now. But before she used to be a knitter of toys, was it? Knitting toys? I don't think she crochets, I think she knits. Do you know, I really should watch these videos, shouldn't I, before I start telling you about them. Anyway, she does toys mostly, and lots of things like that. And then we've got Erin, Gimme Yarn 418. Erin knits, crochets, does everything, makes the most fantastic things ever. She sews project bags and sells them on Etsy as Southpaw Creations. She's got dogs, I think there's 3 dogs. She's got Burmese and she's got a Chihuahua. And she even makes little coats for the Chihuahua, knits coats. She's a fabulous knitter, absolutely fantastic knitter. She knits things while I'm just even thinking about getting the pattern out the drawer, you know. And the last one I'm going to do today is Zoe. 24 karat crochet, also my editor-in-chief because I am rubbish, can't edit anything. As you've noticed while she's been in the US at Rhinebeck, nothing of mine's had a heading or a beginning or an end because she's not been here to help me. But she's back. I mean, she probably won't edit this video because I won't ask her to, but she'll be back once she's got over her jet lag. She came back with a massive suitcase full of yarn, so no doubt she's going to be putting out the videos soon showing what she's bought. And she went to Rhinebeck as well with Erin. Terry went, and Fernanda from Made by Faye. Another lady went as well. Oh, she's called Margaret, but I can't remember what her title is. Anyway, I'm sure we'll get some lovely videos from Zoe and from Erin showing the trip to Rhinebeck. I've been saying I would love to go, but I know I just won't get there because physically I wouldn't even be able to walk around the thing when I got there. It's not just a question of saving up the money to go, it's a question of I couldn't walk around it when I got there. They'd have to hire me a wheelchair and somebody would have to volunteer to push me, which wouldn't be fun for whoever's got to push me because I am not exactly twiggy and I do weigh a lot. Anyway, before it gets any darker, and I want to do some work on this circular jacket of mine and try to watch a little bit of TV. I brought my daughter-in-law's washing in because it keeps raining and it's just so dull. And it's been out there 2 days and it's still wet through, so I brought it in. I think she was hoping when she put it out, yeah. Not seen much of them because they're doing their house up. Well, they're wrecking it at the moment, ready for doing it up. So they're in, as Arian says, he does the demolition and his wife does the reconstruction. Well, she doesn't do the actual reconstruction, she's in charge of painting and decorating and choosing furnishings and curtains and stuff like that. He's the one with the sledgehammer, you know, that puts holes in walls and things. Well, my babies are all asleep here. Sky. Oh no, Sky's on the floor. Poppy's on the sofa for a change. I don't know whether you can see them or not. It's probably too dark. And of course little Gigi is on my knee, which stops me from doing most things because this is where he wants to be. All I can hear is gentle snoring. And I'll tell you, I'll be going to sleep myself if they don't stop snoring. I've been out this morning, went up to get some cash because my niece is taking me to Berry Market on Saturday morning early. And they don't do cards on the market, obviously they want cash. And the hole in the wall is not on my route from the car park to the market. There's not a hole in the wall, you know, cash machine, whatever you want to call them. ATM. There isn't one, so I thought I'll go up and get one today and get my sandwich and get something for my tea at the same time, because I'm in charge of my own tea with my new oven. Not that I'm cooking anything. My idea of cooking is opening a box of frozen dinner and putting it in the oven or the microwave. Maybe I'll get a bit more adventurous when I'm on my own and I've only got me to think about. But I would think quite logically it's probably going to be, I've got hair in my eye, it's driving me nutty. It's probably going to be about 5 or 6 weeks, I think, before the family move out. Sorry about this, but it really is getting on my nerves now. It's dangling in my eye. Don't you hate it when they do that? Eyelashes are the worst, aren't they? You're chasing them around your eye, aren't you? And you can't find them. But I'm still covered in hair. Yesterday I looked like a yeti because Gigi had dribbled his hair everywhere. I finished up going upstairs and getting changed when he'd gone home because I was just covered in hair. Yes, wasn't I? Anyway, I'm going to go now, so I hope you're all enjoying yourself. And I hope I've given you some new people to watch on YouTube. By the time I've finished, reading all these out, which probably be about 3 or 4 days, about 3 or 4 videos, because I've only done that top bit there. I've still got that bit and all the other page are behind to do yet. But I didn't want to bore you by reading out a whole long list of people. As I said, they're not in any particular order, just because I read out one first. It doesn't mean that, yeah. Oh, I did miss one, actually. Simply Twee Beings, Teresa and Brad. They do she's loom knitting and things like that. She's struggling with being in an RV at the moment. So, I missed her off. Sorry about that, Teresa. Didn't mean to miss you. Just suddenly struck me that she was on the first bit of the list. Right, I'm going to have my coffee and I'm going to eat my Turkish delight, which I shouldn't be eating at all, but I just fancied a little bit of naughtiness, as you do now and again, Sorry about this. I know I'm diabetic, but I can't live without some chocolate now and again. I'm only borderline diabetic anyway. I am diabetic, but I'm not full blown, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sort of hovering around the mark where you're not diabetic, you are diabetic. But they prefer to treat me with tablets to keep me even. But I swear I'm not really. Not really. I'm not insulin dependent or anything like that. I don't go into a tailspin if I eat a bit of chocolate. The only thing that's annoying me is I'm getting really, the dead fingers and the dead toes, which I think is more circulation than anything to do with diabetes. Here I am on about my ailments again, and I thought I'm not going to start on about ailments today. I'm going to be more chirpy. Because I'm a bit screwball anyway, as you all know. If you've known me long enough, you know that I'm not exactly of this world. marching to a different drummer, as my dad used to say. So it's bye from Sky, bye from Poppy, they couldn't care less, they're asleep. Bye from Gigi, who's now put his head underneath my arm because obviously the light is bothering him. So it's goodbye from all of us, and we'll see you very soon. If I do buy any yarn, wool, whatever, in Berry Market, I will let you know. Bye all.